Before we begin, I invite you to sit still for a moment. Allow yourself to arrive fully. You see, it is not enough to simply listen with your ears. When it comes to understanding pain and the people who bring it into our lives, you must also listen with your body, with your breath, and with your spirit. In the Shaolin tradition, we are taught that to be strong does not mean to never be hurt. Strength lies not in resistance, but in the way you respond. Pain is not your enemy, it is your teacher. And the people who bring this pain, they too are teachers, even if they do not realize it themselves. So today, I want to share with you 5 ways to handle people who hurt you, not for revenge, not for control, but for transformation. Because it is not what they do to you, but what you do with that experience that will define your life's path. Let us begin not from a place of blame, but from clarity. We are not here to condemn others, but to cultivate ourselves. As the old saying goes, you cannot stop the bird of sorrow from flying over your head, but you can stop it from building a nest in your hair. The same applies to hurt. Let's begin. When someone hurts you, the first impulse is to look outward, to point the finger, to assign fault. But in the teachings of self-mastery, we are encouraged to look within. The world is not simply happening to you, it's reflecting you. Every interaction, every emotion, every pain is a mirror. Now, this is not to say that others are justified in causing you pain, but rather, it is an invitation to observe. Why does this hurt me? What part of me is wounded? What does this experience reveal about the work I have yet to do? This is where the real power begins, not in changing others, but in understanding yourself. You see, people can only touch what is already inside of you. If there is no anger within, their anger cannot take root. If there is no insecurity within, their insults find no shelter. This is not an easy truth, but it is a liberating one, because it means you are never helpless. In Shaolin philosophy, we say, the enemy outside cannot harm you if there is no enemy within. So, before you react, pause, reflect, let the pain be a mirror. Let it show you what is asking to be healed. This is the first step toward inner strength. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every word requires a reply. And not every person deserves your energy. One of the greatest forms of wisdom is to know where to place your attention and where to withdraw it. When someone hurts you, they pull you into their storm, but you do not have to stay there. You can choose peace over provocation. You can walk away, not because you are weak, but because you are strong enough to value your own energy more than their chaos. Energy is life. What you give your energy to, you give your life to. So the question is, do you want to spend your life explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you? Or do you want to spend your life cultivating your inner garden, protecting your peace, and growing stronger in silence? In the Shaolin Temple, we train not only the body, but also the spirit. We train to conserve our energy, to direct it with precision, to keep our focus sharp. When someone seeks to disturb your inner balance, do not react with anger, withdraw with grace. This is the path of the peaceful warrior. Many times, the hurt we feel is not from what was said or done, but from our attachment to how things should have been. Expectations become chains, desires become traps, and people, flawed, complex people, will inevitably disappoint us when we expect them to behave as we wish. To be free of hurt, you must be free of attachment. This does not mean you become cold or indifferent. It means you love without clinging. You give without expectation. You forgive without requiring apology. You are complete in yourself, not dependent on others to fill a void. When you are attached, every word has the power to wound. But when you release your expectations, you regain your freedom. You are no longer controlled by the behavior of others. You become like water, flexible, adaptable, flowing through life's difficulties without losing your form. The Tao teaches us to be like the uncarved, block simple, grounded, unmoved by the winds of ego. So when someone hurts you, let go, not just of the pain, but of the illusion that they must behave according to your script. This is not resignation, it is liberation. Pain is energy, and energy by nature is neither good nor bad, it is neutral. What defines it is how you use it. A painful experience can become poison, or it can become power. It can destroy you, or it can awaken you. The choice is always yours. In the Shaolin tradition, we do not reject suffering, we transform it. A broken heart can become a more open heart. A betrayal can teach boundaries. An insult can cultivate humility. But this transformation requires consciousness. You must choose to grow. Instead of asking, why did they hurt me? Ask, what is life trying to teach me through this person? This is how warriors are made. Not in the absence of pain, but in their ability to alchemize that pain into purpose. Do not let the actions of another turn you bitter. Let them refine you. Let them sharpen your awareness. Let them deepen your compassion. This is the practice of internal martial arts, using life's challenges as stepping stones to a higher self. When all is said and done, the greatest power lies in stillness, not in the silence of avoidance, but in the calm that comes from clarity. Stillness is not inaction, it is the mastery of presence. It is the space between reaction and response. It is the place where healing begins. You must learn to sit with your pain without letting it define you. Sit with your anger without letting it drive you. Sit with your thoughts without letting them consume you. This is the discipline that turns wounds into wisdom. In stillness, we return to our center. We reconnect with the breath, the body, the eternal now. The opinions of others begin to lose their grip. The noise fades. And what remains is the quiet strength of your true self, unshaken, unbroken. So when people hurt you, do not rush to speak. Do not rush to prove. Return to stillness. Let the storm pass over you. The tree does not fight the wind it bends. It endures and it remains. Be like that tree, rooted, unmoved, free. It is possible to understand someone without agreeing with them. It is possible to forgive someone without allowing them to continue hurting you. This is the art of compassionate strength, not soft, not blind, but deeply conscious. When you begin to see that those who hurt others are themselves hurting, a shift happens within. You no longer take their behavior personally. You realize they are acting from their own inner conflict, from wounds they have never dared to face. This realization does not excuse their actions, but it helps you release the weight of resentment. However, compassion is not passivity. In martial arts, compassion must be balanced with boundary. You do not allow a fire to burn you simply because you understand why it burns. You do not keep a snake in your pocket just because you know it bites out of instinct. Compassion means you can walk away with peace, not hate. So handle them gently internally, but also firmly externally. You can wish someone healing from afar while keeping yourself safe. You do not have to carry their suffering. You can let go of the pain and keep the lesson. This is the mature heart of the warrior monk. When emotions rise, the breath is the first to change. It becomes shallow, rushed, tight. But when you are anchored in your breath, you are no longer swept away by the winds of reactivity. You remain present. You remain clear. Breathing is not just a physical act, it is a bridge between the mind and the body. Every time someone hurts you, your nervous system reacts. You may feel heat in your chest, tension in your stomach, trembling in your hands. But by simply breathing consciously, you send a message to your entire being. I am safe. I am in control. In Shaolin practice, every movement begins with breath. Every stillness is supported by breath. We are taught to observe, to soften, to expand. So when someone triggers your pain, return first to the breath. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly. And with each breath, release your attachment to the story. This simple practice can prevent years of suffering. Because in the space created by the breath, you find choice. You are no longer reacting, you are responding. And in that space of response, transformation becomes possible. That is the beginning of mastery. Long after someone has hurt you, their voice may still echo in your mind. The words they spoke, the way they treated you, these things replay over and over, becoming part of your inner dialogue. But you must remember, you are the one who writes the final script. If you allow those echoes to dominate your thinking, then the harm continues not by their hands, but through your own thoughts. This is where inner discipline is essential. You must learn to recognize the voice of pain and choose not to believe it. Instead, speak to yourself with clarity and compassion. When your mind says, I deserve that, answer with truth. No, I am worthy of respect. When your thoughts say, I'll never recover, remind yourself, this is a moment, not a destiny. In every moment, you can rewrite the story. The inner voice must become your ally, not your enemy. Like a monk repeating a mantra, choose words that heal, not words that harm. Guard your inner world with vigilance. For it is here that pain is either multiplied or neutralized, and it is here that freedom begins. Many people remain stuck in pain because they are waiting for an apology, for an explanation, for the other person to understand. But in truth, closure is not given. It is created, and often it is created alone. Some people may never admit what they did. They may never change. They may continue walking through life unaware of the hurt they caused, and you must make peace with that, because your healing cannot be dependent on their awareness. Acceptance is not weakness, it is wisdom. You are not excusing their actions by moving forward. You are simply deciding that your life is too precious to be held hostage by the past. You are choosing freedom over justification. So let go of the need for their understanding. Understand yourself. Stand in your own truth. And when the mind says, but they never said sorry, answer, I don't need their permission to be free. This is true liberation, not through others, but through your own awakening. There is a danger in becoming too attached to the story of your wounds. When someone hurts you, especially deeply, that experience can begin to shape your identity. You start seeing yourself as the victim, the betrayed, the misunderstood, and slowly you wear that identity like armor. But armor is heavy, and after a while, it doesn't protect you, it burdens you. You must remember, you are not what happened to you. You are who you choose to become in response to what happened. In Shaolin teachings, identity is fluid. We are not fixed beings, we are constantly evolving, like water finding its shape. So you must ask yourself, do I want this pain to be part of my foundation, or can I let it go and build something stronger in its place? There is no strength in holding on to your suffering. Real strength is in transmuting it. Let the pain shape you but not define you. You are more than the chapter where they hurt you. You are the entire book. Keep writing. One of the deepest sources of suffering is the belief that we can control how others behave, how they feel, or how they treat us. This illusion keeps us bound to pain because people will always act according to their level of awareness, not according to your expectations. You cannot make someone respect you. You cannot force someone to see your worth. And you cannot demand emotional maturity from those who have never cultivated it. When you release this illusion of control, a profound peace arises. Instead of focusing on changing them, focus on choosing your own response. This is the heart of Shaolin wisdom. Control not the world, but your relationship with it. That is where freedom lives, not in forcing others, but in freeing yourself. So when someone hurts you, do not ask, why are they like this? Instead, ask, what is mine to carry and what must I release? Let go of control, embrace clarity, and walk forward with peace, not powerlessness. When you are hurt by others, especially by those close to you, trust breaks not only in them, but often in yourself. You begin to question your judgment, your perception, your choices. But healing does not begin with trusting others again. It begins with trusting yourself. You must reconnect with your inner compass, the still voice that knows, that senses, that feels. Perhaps you ignored red flags. Perhaps you gave too many chances. That does not mean you are broken. It means you are learning. In the temple, trust is built through discipline and integrity. You show up, you practice, you listen, and over time, confidence returns not as arrogance, but as quiet certainty. You begin to trust that no matter what others do, you will remain true to yourself. So take time, heal, rebuild, not just trust in people, but trust in life. Trust that every pain carries a purpose. And most importantly, trust that you are strong enough to rise again. Because you are, you always have been. Detachment is often misunderstood. People think it means coldness or indifference. But in true practice, detachment is the highest form of love. It means you love with freedom, not possession. You care, but you do not cling. You feel, but you do not fuse. When someone hurts you, it is natural to want to detach. But the question is, how do you detach? Do you close your heart and become bitter? Or do you detach with understanding, preserving your peace without shutting down your compassion? In Shaolin practice, we learn to hold the sword and the lotus strength and softness, boundary and openness. So when you walk away, do so with love in your heart, not for them necessarily, but for yourself and for life itself. Detach not because you hate, but because you choose peace over pain. This is a sacred act, an act of maturity. And in doing so, you become lighter, freer, and more aligned with your true path. Forgiveness is not for them, it is for you. You forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Forgiveness is not agreement. It is not forgetfulness. It is the conscious decision to no longer carry the poison. Carrying resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other to suffer. It only destroys your spirit. It clouds your vision. It closes your heart. Forgiveness is the release of that poison. It is choosing to live unburdened. Now, forgiveness may take time. It does not need to be rushed, but it must be chosen, not once, but again and again, like a daily meditation. You wake up and say, today, I release myself from that pain. And with time, the grip loosens. In the end, forgiveness is a return to wholeness, to freedom, to love, not naive love, but mature, grounded love, the kind that knows pain and still chooses peace. That is the final liberation. Every pain in life is a seed, and every seed contains potential, but potential means nothing without effort. It is up to you to turn your suffering into strength, your hurt into wisdom, your experience into growth. Ask yourself, what has this experience taught me? How can I use this pain to help others? How can I use it to sharpen my awareness, to deepen my compassion, to walk more consciously through life? The monk does not train to avoid pain. He trains to use pain as fuel. So must you. Let your heartbreak become your practice. Let your disappointment become your teacher. Let your scars become symbols of your resilience and not shame, but strength. In this way, nothing is wasted. Not even your suffering. You are not a victim. You are a warrior. And your journey, with all its wounds, is sacred. Walk it with grace. If someone has hurt you, take this moment to pause. Breathe. Reclaim your energy. You do not need revenge. You do not need validation. You need only your own presence, your own breath, your own truth. From the Shaolin Temple to your heart. Walk wisely, live mindfully, and transform your pain into peace.